Jack's gaming blog.
Hello, good evening, bonjour and welcome. My name is Jack's dad and welcome back to the Midday Show. We have a very special guest joining us this morning. You may have heard of him. He has produced many games in the last few years, some of which have had at least one whole player. Introducing Jack Beavis, creator of his hit new game, Crab. Welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me here.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you. So I hear you've been making a new game. Can you tell us about it?
Sure thing, Jack's dad. So, this is a game that I decided to make in a program called Pygame, and it revolves around a pirate crab on a 2D adventure to reclaim his stolen treasure.
Wow, sounds great. Must have taken you a very long time.
It actually only took me one term, but I'll continue to roll out more updates over time.
Okay. And surely you must have had some knowledge of this Pygame before you began?
Not really, this was my first time using it. However, I already had experience with the coding language Python that it uses, and thanks to a lot, and I mean a lot, of tutorial videos, I finally managed to complete my project. I was originally going to use Unity, but I realised I'd need much longer to learn how to use it.
Ah, I see. But why, may I ask, the pirate crabs?
Well, I really loved the Donkey Kong Country games growing up, so the jungle and seaside animal theme really inspired me. Actually, I made a whole video about my inspiration. Would you like to see it?
Not really.
To make my game, I decided to come out here to the beach to observe these crabs in their natural habitat and to try figure out how best to put them into my game. I spent many days down here at the beach near my local town over the development of my game, and it really enlightened me to the true way that crabs act. I found some local residents and decided to ask them what they knew about these stunning creatures. So, what do you know about crabs?
They're tasty.
No, that's not.
I like them with chips.
No, as in, what do you know about crabs when they're, alive?
Well, they're very scary. And their claws are very sharp and can pinch you.
I see.
So it was at this point that I realised that crabs' pincers were actually very sharp, so I was already developing a sort of understanding for ideas in my game.
Does that help?
Yes, although I do have one more question.
Yes?
Where can I find these crabs? I'd like to go out and study them for myself.
Well, I'm sure you can find some at Tesco's.
And so I continued on my quest to look for more facts about these stunning, pointy creatures.
So, I'm down here at the edge of the ocean to study where crabs would usually walk. Now, as you can see, there is a steady mix between sand and sea, so a crab would need to be able to survive in both of these environments. So, you said you know how crabs walk?
Well, yes, they walk from side to side, of course.
Side to side? So they can't turn around?
No, of course not. If they wanted to turn around, they'd have to go around the entire Earth in order to do so.
It was at this point that I realised that it was clear that I was dealing with a crab professional.
So, what else do you know about these crabs?
Wow, they also can't swim, so even in water, they just sink straight to the bottom.
Interesting. Well, thank you for your time, but I do have one more question. Where can I find these crabs?
Tesco, of course.
Oh, thank
And
you.
so I ended my period of searching with brand new ideas and came home to make lots of progress on my game.
Well, that was a video.
I'm glad you loved it.
I never...
So, do you have any more questions for me?
Actually, what did you actually learn at your time at the beach that helped you to develop this game?
Well, I got inspired by the fact that crabs can only move in one direction, so I decided to make it so that our poor crab couldn't turn around. This led to the crab only being able to use abilities in specific directions, making the game more complex and challenging. I also made it so that there are areas of water that the crab needs to jump over, otherwise it will sink and be unable to beat the level.
Well, that sounded really in-depth, thanks. So the next question is about what your crab looks like. Can we get that up on the screen for a second? Excellent. So Jack, your crab, it doesn't look like any crab I've ever seen before. Can you try to explain to the audience your design process going into this character making?
Sure, Jack's dad. Well, the reason it doesn't look like a crab is because, well, whilst I was out on the beach, I never actually found any crabs. But through the help of other people's descriptions that I got at a later date, I managed to get a rough idea.
So you never went to Tesco's like those two people suggested then?
No, I'm actually going there after this interview.
Can we see the descriptions they gave you then?
Oh, sure.
Well, that explains some things. What more can you do in the game once you've beaten it?
Well, I'm actually glad you asked that. My game has multiple levels, and it also has a speedrun mode where players can compete to try and get onto a leaderboard.
And do you get any rewards for getting on this leaderboard?
Yes, there's achievements and hats and special crab colours.
Okay, wow, so you really have thought of everything. I'm impressed. I do have one final question though.
Yeah?
Can we play this game? So wait a minute, is your game even done?
It's taking a long while, but I promise that it will be worth it.
So there is no completed game?
Not yet, no, but I promise it will be done in time for the holidays.
So why did we get this guy on? He hasn't even got a completed game. Well, thank you all for so much for watching.
Oh, you don't want me
No, we don't have time tonight.
Well, I thought we were booked in for 3 hours.
Actually, we had to cut things a little short.
You mean I can't advertise my contact details?
Well, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all this time again next week for another instalment of the Midday.
Remember, you can find me at .co.uk.